Checking in with the Champion, book number 5 in the Galactic Football League series, where we're following Quentin Barnes and his further enmeshment in galactic politics as he's just trying to be a football player. And the drama that goes along, even just with being a football player. This is, oh God, chapters 21 to 36, 37. I'm quite sure. We're on episode 24 of the collected podcasts that I downloaded for free. Job actually bought the series on audiobook, but she bought it through iTunes, and I am a firm non-iTunes, firm non-Apple person, so I cannot have access to that. So I've gone back and gotten my saved copies of the books, as I collected them as they came out on podcast form. Um, so yes, they get back from so there's the Prowith, who are Petra Prowith, the uploaded young woman, pink hair, who has become what the ancient elders, where basically they if they get complex enough and they're lucky enough, they're wise enough, they merge with her, and she gets their intelligence, and they get to live basically forever. That's what Bumberpuff is, like a very young, barely just old enough to be around, to be actually a kind of an individual consciousness, is one of those. And there is the Prowett, very proud, and the Portath, which is the people in the these aliens in in this cloud, which Petra sent them, unknowing to Quentin Barnes, sent them into this thing, supposedly because she forced Federico and Janine Barnes, Quentin's sister, into the cloud. So they've gotten out. He's with Becca. He spends Becca the Recca, his teammate and his love interest. Spends the off season with her. Visits Earth, all the archaeological sites. Meets Becca's parents. Gets back. Has various meetings. Janine gets kind of taken into the organization, because not only is she kind of in Quentin's life, but John Tweedy, who saved her in the combat with the Portath guy, being, they're a couple now, and once he realizes and kind of can accept that, because he's completely dull about that, that's fine. And then we get into kind of the game stuff, where Becca wants to become a quarterback. She basically wants Quentin's job, and it's like that's always been her dream. And Quentin is like, "You're being dumb. You're thinking of yourself, not of the team," which, as Becca quite rightly points out, is pretty easy for him to say, because he's living his complete dream. He is the star quarterback for the INF Krakens, top of the league, top thing. And they're having a major fallout over that. And she finally pushes it. She has the same agent as Quentin, because Quentin introduced him to him. This kind of uplifted dolphin creature, Manny. Tell you, buddy. Kind of fast talking, kind of high pitched. Kind of reminds me of something out of like South Park. That kind of a voice, like one of those wacky Canadians in the South Park thing, Terrence and Phillip. And they force the issue, and she gets put on as a kind of replacement quarterback, much to Quentin's kind of, and they're still really very much at odds. Now, in the middle of all this, they're doing the games, they are winning the games. Quentin actually is quite shocked, because at a point he gets tackled, and he realizes that maybe he's lost a step, that he maybe he can't scramble anymore. Um, and he thinks about Donald Pine, who was the kind of the vet head quarterback when he got there. And yeah, he scrambled early on, even though he wasn't as fast as Quentin. But later on in life, later on in his career, he would just kind of touch down or take a tackle versus, accidentally getting crowded into throwing thing, but he wouldn't scramble anymore. And maybe Quentin is getting to that point in his career, even though you kind of even though like you think it's like, oh, he's a four year veteran. It's like, yeah, he came here at 18. He's like 22 now or 23. He's like a young guy, but he's also kind of grizzled veteran because the amount of damage and miles that get put on a body um, through this such intense play. It's like battlefield kind of play. Um, so he's like, he's gonna have to deal with that. Um, they get stopped midway out. Oh, he gets another visit first. He gets another visit from Bumblepuff, who it's like Petra wants to talk to him, and it's basically yes, indeed. I was being so proud about having figured this out. It's like, yeah, Petra's like, you are the one who is going to unite everything. You're the one. You've done, and she kind of lists off all his achievements through the books, and you think, Ziegler, a little gold